Okay, okay, hang on. Let me put on some BGM. I just realized I did not think of doing that, low key. What fucking playlist I have open? Fucking how to be like Ayano Koji playlist. What the hell? What fucking what crack was I smoking? Okay, hang on. Nostalgic Pokemon music. Yeah, fuck it. We're listening. What the fuck just these are the resubscription detector reels. Thank you so much. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hang on. I'm losing my fucking marbles. Yeah, fuck it. We're listening to nostalgic Pokemon music. Let's can the nostalgic Pokemon music fucking play? Hello? Okay. 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 Alright, fuck yes. Fuck yes. Okay, are we locked in? We're locked in. Okay, guys, hello. Welcome in to our Japan trip summary. I've made a little PowerPoint, as you can see here. Let me get the PowerPoint open so I can, like, navigate through it. Yeah, do you guys like the layout? I put a lot of effort into this, okay? A lot of effort. Yeah, hooray for PowerPoint. My best fucking streams involve a fucking PowerPoint, man. Alright. And there's me! Look at me, look at me, look at me. Okay, so, I lied to you guys. I lied to you guys a bit leading up to this. Because I had the idea for a very funny bit, so I was like, what if I just don't tell anyone don't tell anyone I'm going to Japan? And when I say I didn't even tell some of my closest IRL friends. Graphic designer John Socher. I literally told no one. Super hurt. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know, I mean, it was actually a very nice break. It was a nice break. I got to do some cool stuff. We'll go over it, so don't worry. I got to do some very cool things. No, don't be hurt, guys. Don't be hurt. But yeah, let's get right into the summary. Okay, so Tokyo Part 1. Okay, so once I got to your guys' world, I took a flight direct to Tokyo. I went to Tokyo. Tokyo's my first stop, okay? This is kind of like standard business. You know, everyone stops at fucking Tokyo at some point, right? That's like Japan trip standard fare. So this is my view from the airport. I landed in Haneda. I've landed in both Narita and Haneda now. I highly recommend if you can. What the fuck is this shitty ass playlist? Okay, whatever. Okay. If you can, I'd recommend Haneda. It is closer to the city. It's a lot easier to get into the city, and also it was a nice airport. Hello, Big Nanas. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you so much for the resubscription. I sincerely appreciate it. So yeah, that was my view. Then, of course, I had to take a photo with my favorite celebrity. You know, my favorite celebrity in the entire world. Can anyone guess who that is? I miss you. Well, I'm back. That's right. Hatsune Miku. I got her. I got a photo with her. Isn't she beautiful? I know. Yeah, really, can't get enough of her. Her smiling face. That's also kind of what influenced me to fly into Haneda. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not Sushan. Well, Sushan's my friend, not a celebrity. You know, that's different. Hatsune Miku isn't my friend. And then also, this is another. I saw. This is the Skeb sign I saw in Akihabara. Just for some reason. Yep, there was a Skeb sign. I don't know why, but there was. Okay, let me check. What do I have? Okay, so let me talk. Skeb have it off apparently. Okay, so let me tell you guys my first like 6 hours in Japan. And yes, I return. I'm talking about my first 6 hours in Japan. Let me explain to you guys my first 6 hours. I get off the flight. I go to my hotel first, obviously. Wait, let me talk about my flight. So sorry. I'm like all over the place. I don't have a script. I'm going off the fucking dome. My flight, it was pretty long. Let me tell you, I did not sleep a fucking wink. I did not sleep well, okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration. I took like 3 30-minute power naps. Like 3 30-minute power naps. throughout the flight. So I was kind of worried, like, oh shit, am I gonna crash? But I had some things I wanted to do. So I tried my best to, like, you know, I brought books with me. This was actually the worst choice I ever made. Because one of the books, this is, oh my god, this is actually so embarrassing to say live on stream. So, one of the books I brought with me was Infinite Jest, because I didn't really end up reading it because the cabin was dark. I did not think about how dark the cabin would be. And also, this ended up being very annoying later on, because I don't know if you guys are familiar with Infinite Jest. That is a big-ass fucking book. Let me grab my fucking copy. Let me grab my fucking copy of Infinite Jest. This shit is literally the size of a brick. How many pages is this fucking book? It is over 1,000 pages. Why the fuck did I bring this with me? So yeah, that ended up taking valuable luggage space that, like, pissed me off later down. And also, regarding luggage, I packed light, because, like, listen, I don't want to be that motherfucker carrying, like, 5 suitcases through the subway. So I had my backpack and a, like, I want to say a medium-sized suitcase that I was able to fit, like, 8 days of clothes into. 90% of the spaces take my Infinite Jest. By the end, yes. Thank you for the resubscription, Baja Blast. So on the plane ride itself, instead of reading and being intellectual, I instead watched a fuck ton of reality TV. I watched a bit of Love Island, and I mean, I tweeted about this, but I'll just rehash my tweets. My favorite thing about watching Love Island is, like, how they're all, like, they're all like, oh my god, maybe just like season 7, I don't fucking know. They're like, oh my god, listen, we're gonna be a sisterhood, okay guys? And we're gonna stick together no matter what. And they're on the cheat on everyone show. They're on cheat on everyone and steal people's boyfriends show. So and so you can imagine how well that turns out pretty quickly. Which is very, in which season? See, the one with Huda. The one with Huda. USA. They did not have Britain, unfortunately. Yeah. And I watched, let's see. That was a good season. Yeah, I need to finish it. They didn't have all the episodes. I also watched a bit of, The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And that one, like, really tickled me, because, like, when you talk about, like, the Real Housewives of, like, New York City, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, at the bare minimum, those are women with, like, some level of social status. Like, maybe they own a company, maybe their husband's, like, a famous movie director. Like, you know, you could look at any cast member from either of those two, and, like, you can see how they got cast. By the time they get to, like, fucking... By the time they get to fucking Salt Lake City, it's just a bunch of Mormon influencers and, like, MLM resellers. Like, why are you making a TV show about these people? But they love yelling at each other, so it's actually pretty funny. Brings a legendary hard book and watches Hack Slash TV the whole time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my sins. Okay, anyways, back to my first day in Tokyo. So, I managed to get to my hotel. My first hotel was in Shinjuku. And I planned this for reasons we'll go into later. Specifically, what I didn't really realize, my hotel, it wasn't, I mean, in Shinjuku, but technically it was in Shin-Okubo, which is actually, I learned this, by walking through there, is like the little Korea of Tokyo. So that's interesting. You know, you learn new things every day. So I get to my hotel, I drop my bags off. It was a nice hotel. You know, it was it was a small room, but I was solo traveling, so, like, no complaints there. And then I beeline it, because I had a goal. And I know that you're looking at the Kumaton curry on screen, and you think you know what my goal is. No. No, my goal was not actually initially related to anything Maid Cafes. My goal was a 10th anniversary Hashihime pop-up shop. So I fucking ran over. It was, okay. The 10th anniversary Hashihime of the Old Book Town pop-up shop in Medicals, Shinjuku. Like, literally, like, planets aligning, because I already planned, the dates were already set for when I was gonna go, by the time the like, pop-up was announced. So it's not like I planned it around that, but I saw it announced, like, holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. So I, like, sped walk through Shinjuku to get to this fucking store. And I get there, and everything's sold out. Like, all the acrylic stands are sold out. They have, like, the blind box, like, photo cards, I guess. And so I bought a few of those. I was kind of bummed out, but there was a note. No, don't worry. There's a note. It's like, hey, like, in Japanese, it translated to, like, basically, we will restock soon. Thank you for your patience. But I was like, okay, whatever. It is what it is. Like, you know, oh, well. Because it's, you know, it's not the end of the world. So I just bought my little random poll cards. I got like a free bookmark. I didn't get the one character I fucking like, so but you know, that's always how it is. And then I hightailed it across town to Akihabara. Yeah, this is where the maid cafe comes in. Now, initially, this photo you see here is from Maid Dreaming, one of Maid Dreaming's many Akihabara locations. That was not my initial plan, to be honest. My initial plan was to, how do I say this? My initial plan was to go to Shangri-La, Chubby Maid Cafe, because I wanted to. But when I arrived, even though it was past their opening time, they were still like, it still wasn't open. And my Japanese, I just really was not feeling confident enough in my Japanese to, like, ask any questions. So I was like, fuck. So I ended up going to Maid Dreaming, Moi Moi Kyun, and of course I ordered my old reliable, my favorite, Kumatan curry. As you see here, look at his lovely smiling eyes, those gorgeous dimpled cheeks. The curry was low-key kind of cold. In addition, I got the course, I got the food course that they have. So it came with tea and a cheki with a maid. I had a very lovely time with talking to the maids. I used a bit of Nihongo, but there's also a very funny coincidence. There was a maid on staff who spoke decent enough English and was super into BL. And while she wasn't into Hashihime, she was into another game by the developer of Hashihime. So we chatted. We had a great time. I got a cute cheki with her. In addition, because two other customers, yes, a fellow Fuja, yes. Because two other customers paid for, like, maid performances, one thing that, like, okay, if you've never been to Maid Dreaming, one thing that they have on their menu at Maid Dreaming is, like, you pay 1,000 yen, and they'll do, like, a dance cover. They have, like, a whole binder of, like, songs their maids know the dances for. And so I didn't recognize one of the songs, but I did recognize the other one. The second performance I got to see was a maid doing the most impassioned performance to, like, fucking discotheque I've ever seen. You know, like, you know, fucking, if you know it, you know it. And, like, she was fucking dancing her ass off. And it was, no filming's allowed generally, but it's like, it's seared into my brain. Oh my god. Oh my god. In addition, I fell for the fucking gacha shit they do for performances, and I got a glow stick and, like, a couple, like, clear folders. So that's where I've been storing my doujinshi. We'll get back to the doujinshi. And then, after that, I went back to my hotel, because I had a busy morning. A folder, literally. I had a busy morning ahead of me next day. Atami. You might be wondering why there's flames. It'll all make sense in due time. Okay, so, to get to Atami from Shinjuku, this is why I booked my hotel in Shinjuku, because I realized, at the time I believe we were playing through the Summon files when I was making my, like, trip plans. We were playing through the Summon files, and Atami was, you know, for those who remember the Summon files, you know, there's like a joke ending where if you just click the like secretary enough time, like you Date and her run away to Atami, And there's like one very specific, very scenic shot that they use of Atami in the background. It's just like, you know what? I want to go there. I thought it'd be an incredibly funny bit to just randomly post from Atami one day after not hinting that I'd be going to Japan. So I was like, I stayed in Shinjuku because that's, generally speaking, all the trains to like the Atami area originate from Shinjuku. So I thought, you know what, like it all works out. And then in addition, I have a friend. I have a friend who currently works as an English teacher in Japan. They don't live in the Tokyo area, but more or less Shizuoka, I wouldn't say it's like halfway between, but we're both far enough from each other where it's like, it's not like I could meet them where they live and they couldn't really meet me in Tokyo, or Atami was like a very good middle ground compromise. Like, relatively speaking. So I'm like, okay. So in order to go to Atami, I booked something called the Romance Car. The Romance Car is like a special train. It looks like this with like scenic views, assigned seating. It's just like a couple, like $10 extra on top of your train fare, more or less. To get a reserved seat, which is like, honestly, for how long you're on it. You're supposed to be on it, foreshadowing. You're supposed to be on it for like an hour and 30 minutes. So like paying for a reserved seat, like $10 for like an hour, 30 minutes on like a nice quiet train, you know, that's a good deal, right? Like I'm not gonna complain. Lonely in the Romance Car. And the seats, like they look like this. I'm just grabbing photos off the internet for this, but like this is more or less like the layout. Again, very clean, very nice. So, you know, I get on the Romance Car in Shinjuku and we set off. Now poor unlucky soul sitting next to me, because for the most part, the car was like half empty. It was like, you know, you see these 2 rows, like, you know, 2 seats per row. So for most of the cars, there's like one person sitting here, one person sitting here, you know, one person per like half of a row. Except for me, I was sitting next to a salaryman. Sorry for him. Hey, them's the rubs, you know, like that is what it is. I just booked a random seat, man. I didn't fucking choose this. So, you know, we're on the train, and an hour goes by without incident. Like, we're deep into the midst of Kanagawa. And then they play an announcement. And, like, listen, my Japanese isn't perfect, but I recognize some concerning words. And then they repeat the announcement in English, where they say, hey, so someone got, due to personal injury, we're actually stopping an entire station early. Fuck you. And now this was an issue, because, okay, the plan was for me to take the Romance Car all the way to Odawara Station, because Odawara Station is the nearest station to where you can then take the JR line down to Atami. There is no other station that you can get to from this area that goes to Atami. Only this one line from that station that I needed to get to, that we were now stopping, like, well, I say one station away, but it's not actually like one station away. It was one station before on the express schedule. So, like, this is not a walkable distance. It's not like I could go, oh, well, I'll just walk to the next station over. This is like at least an hour and a half, 2 hour minimum walk in, like, the suburbs, like, practically countryside. So I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Good thing yeah. Now, eventually, you know, so Raggy. So eventually, I finally make it on a train at Harano. That's the train that's the station they stopped us off. And this is the announcement they made about, like, the specific area in which the fucking issues were had. So you can read that now for those, JOPs in chat. And so, but then finally, after waiting like 30 minutes, they kind of reopened train service, and I hopped on a train and got to Odawara, so I could then take the train to Atami, baby. This is my lovely view out the window of the right train, like the JR train. Such a gorgeous, like, seaside route. It was a nice sunny day. Like, I was super excited because, like, I knew I was taking a bit of a gamble, because weather in Japan in May can be pretty tumultuous. So I was like, what if the one day I can go to Atami? Because I basically did not have, especially because I was making this free time with my teacher friend, who had to like request off in advance. You know, like, this is my one day I could do this and have this fun time with my friend, right? Ero Sensei was in Japan, sugoi. Yeah, totomo sugoi ne. So I was like, worried, but I finally got on the JR train to Atami, and thankfully no more issues. And I arrived at Atami Station. I'm gonna tell you guys, this guy right here, you see this guy right here? This guy's name is Atsuo. He is the mascot of Atami. The mascot character for the town of Atami is a balding middle-aged man dressed in like an onsen outfit. That, I'm not making that up. I bought my mom a shirt with his face on it. So I wait a bit, because my train, I was gonna get in a bit before my friend anyways. Even after the delays, I had to wait like 30 minutes for the Shinkansen to arrive. Because they were taking the Shinkansen, you know how it is. Eventually we finally meet because I was at the wrong fucking Shinkansen exit waiting. But we meet, we're like, oh my god, it's been forever, because it's been years since we've seen each other in person. And then we began our trek, because I had like systematically approximated more or less where the photo from the Eye of the Sunbeam files was taken. So this was like a 30-minute walk from the station to a specific area of the bay where you can see, like, the buildings are the same, okay? The buildings are the same. And it's not the exact same angle. The angle in the photo is a bit higher up, but that would require getting on a hill, and we were not going to do that. Alright, Atami. Yeah, it's fucking Atami, man. We love Atami. But wait, there's more. That's right, motherfuckers. It's time to talk about the Atami Adult Museum. That box is there for my safety. And let me just add the flames. Oh my fucking god. Oh, how do I even begin to explain the Atami Adult Museum? It's something, okay, no photos are allowed with it. So I desperately wish I could show censored photos, because you will not believe half the things I fucking say. Okay, so we were already planning on going to like Atami Castle, and the easiest way to do that is by taking something called the Loopway. Basically, they had like a cable car system. Did you hear about it? Wow, that's crazy. They have like, cable cars that go up there. And so you buy a ticket for the cable car, and then also part of it, they have a deal. It's like, hey, you can get the round trip and an entry for the adult museum for 2,000 yen. So it's like, shit, man, okay, let's fucking do that shit. Like, okay, I've got nothing to lose, like, fuck it. How bad could it be? So we get up the mountain, and in the cable car, we go up to the adult museum, and we step inside. We're greeted with this lovely mermaid lady at the front. By the ticket museum. Obviously, she's censored. I cannot show her uncensored form on stream, I'm pretty sure. And that's kind of the setting the vibe. So we walk in. The first thing is like, how do we even explain this? The first room you enter is a shrine to the penis god. It is like a block Shinto shrine set up with like wind music, like wind sound effects, like things are moving and glowing. It's a fucking penis shrine. And then you go into the next room, and there's like, insert 100 yen. Yeah, it's like, kinda like that, yeah. But it's like, all animatronics too. This was like fucking Five Nights at Freddy's with fucking boobs, man. Boobs and penises. Like, I wish I could articulate what that meant. But, like, you truly cannot understand what I'm talking about until you go to the Atami Adult Museum. It is full of this creepy fucking naked woman animatronics. So enter the next room, we put 100 yen, and I got my fucking sex fortune read. You know, that's fucking fantastic, right? That's fucking incredible. It came with, like, a screed of, like, Japanese erotica. Care to share? I posted it on Twitter. I'm not putting it up on stream because part of it is, like, a detailed drawing of a sex position. So it's like, I don't think I can show that on stream. You're gonna have to live without the... What did it say? The erotica... I forget the exact translation. The erotica portion was, like, about, like, how in winter times people in ancient Japan would hole up in, like, castles and have tons of sex. And describe fair skin. We went insane. We went insane. Anyways, like, there were, like, fucking porno vids. There was, like, one part of the exhibit where, like, you look through the windows and it plays a fucking video of, like, a naked lady doing magic tricks where she's, like, pulling a rose out of her fucking vagina. There's, like, a room where you sit down in front of a mirror, and that mirror shows you, like, a hologram of, like, okay, so we both sat, we both sat down and, like, there's two chairs. We sat down. Both of our mirrors showed different things. My mirror, at first it showed, like, a fucking maid stripping naked. And then it switches to, like, a butler dude stripping naked and, like, flexing. And then for my friend, for my friend, how do I even describe it? Because I did not witness this. I'm just going by my friend's account. So my friend was in their fucking mirror. Was like a genie dude who summoned naked woman and then got so aroused his fucking penis exploded. That is how it was described to me. And it was like never ending. Never ending. I cannot emphasize enough how much it felt like literally the depths of hell. You turn a corner and there'd be a set of stairs down and lead to, like, more exhibits. And then another corner, more steps down, more exhibits. There was a fucking museum of sex toys. There was a rose toy on display, you know? Then, like, in the middle, there's, like, the rather tasteful, actually, like, art museum portion. There was, like, actual museum exhibition quality, like, erotic art by, like, various manga artists, which was, like, again, like, actually structured, not like a haunted house, and, like, actually, like, a museum. It's like, oh, this is quite pleasant. You turn the fucking corner, it's the fucking wall with, like, a fucking tits and asses on the fucking wall, and a fucking... Hey. 10. This shouldn't come to any time now, right? Literally just never ending with hydrate. Okay, did you have fun? Oh my god. You might want to rewatch the VOD. We're talking the Atami Adult Museum. And then finally we exit. It feels like fucking forever. Literally fucking forever. Walking down this endless hell. Truly, you have to actually... No. You really have to experience it for yourself. There is no way I can properly describe the experience of just seeing naked woman animatronics everywhere. There's nothing more uncanny. Like, they all look like this fucking mermaid lady, too. And, like, facial quality. I felt like I was going insane. I truly did. So anyways, we got lunch, and then we decided to do another thing I really wanted to do. Because if you look at Atami on a map, you might notice that there's another city that's only, like, 20 minutes away. And that is... the city of Numazu. Now, why the fuck do you want to go to Numazu, you might ask? You uncultured fucking swine. You uncultured fucking swine. You know fucking nothing. It's Aqua, bitches. Okay, no, I want to go to Numazu Station because I'm a fucking weeb and I love life. So obviously, you know, we're going to fucking Numazu. So we get to Numazu, we exit the station, it's like pretty fucking empty downtown, but it's like, it's a weekday, so like, whatever. So you walk down the shopping street where I took this photo of Yo, and we notice like all the shops are shuttered. And we keep walking, and all the shops are shuttered, and there's like no one else walking. Everything was fucking closed. Apparently, for some reason, unbeknownst to us, unannounced on any website anywhere, I guess the general, like, holiday for the shopping place is, like, Wednesdays. Because not a single goddamn shop was open. Legitimately. Just rows of shuttered shops. Just not open because it was fucking Wednesday. So eventually we walked back to the station. I bought like some Mekon flavored goods because obviously I'm in fucking Numazu. I gotta have Chica's favorite food, man. And we headed back to Atami. I think, let's see, what's next after this? Okay. So we walked around Atami a bit more. We bought some souvenirs, but eventually it was time to say goodbye to my friend. It was like, I'm gonna miss you. Sob, sob, cry, cry, right? Sob, sob, cry, 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 sob, sob. I got back on the train, over to, like, Shinjuku. And that took me like another 2 hours. It was whatever. No issues that time. Thank the fucking Lord. And so then I took it upon myself to do a little exploration. Because like, fuck it, man. I'm in fucking Shinjuku. You know where I gotta go. That's right. I did the thing that you're not supposed to really do as a solo traveler. I went to Kabukicho alone at night. Now, I will say, okay, obviously, if you're solo traveling, you should be cautious. That being said, Kabukicho in the early evening, I'd say up to 9 p.m., I don't think it's that dangerous, because the benefit of the one benefit of Kabukicho being super popular is that there's a lot of people there, and it's actually a good thing, because they have a lot of police presence, and there's other people always nearby. So even though it is a red light district, you should be careful. As long as it's in the early evening, you're not actually, it never feels like you're in that much danger, because I'm surrounded by other people. There's always, obviously don't walk down any fucking alleyways or dumb shit, but if you're just sticking to the main road, you're gonna be perfectly fine. No touts came after me, no one tried picking me up. What happens there? Bars and shit. And also, of course, I had to take of course, there were some fucking, like a Dragon series, vending machines for merch, which is very funny. I did not buy anything from there because I had limited luggage space, but I thought it was cool, so I snapped that photo. And then I saw a good friend of mine. A good friend. Those who know, if you can name any of these characters, you are entitled to nothing. Fuck you. Alright, let's see. How tall is the average guy in Japan? I don't fucking know. Let's see, what's next? Oh yeah, okay, the next day was a fun little day in Ikebukuro. Just a fun little day exploring and doing shit in Ikebukuro. Because I wanted to go to Ikebukuro. So I visited a certain theater. This might look familiar for my Jujutsu Kaisen fans. This is the theater in Ikebukuro where Higuruma was in the Colon Games. And so it's the Metropolitan Theater. It's like right nearby the station. It was a rainy day, as you can tell by the photo. I had to buy an umbrella from the convenience store. Like, this piece of fucking shit umbrella. Oh my god. It kept on, like, turning inside out from the wind. But I got to do that little pilgrimage, In addition, I also went to Sunshine City. For those not aware, Sunshine City is like a huge mall in Ikebukuro. Thank you for the sugoi, Polyspora. Thank you so much. So part of it was Sunshine Aquarium. I did not actually go into the aquarium itself, but they had a Detective Conan collaboration. So like for any Conan fans in chat, I'm sure you guys exist. And I went there for purposes I didn't quite get to achieve. We'll get back to those later, because I did eventually come back here. So we'll get to why I actually went there later. Yeah, hello, L4Man. Thank you so much. And then, of course, I walked past a very sacred place. It wasn't quite open yet. A very sacred place, what people call the Yaoi Dungeon. It's not actually a Yaoi Dungeon, it's Otome, like, it's, you know, Otome, like, in BL, but, you know, I digress. But I didn't go in it, I didn't actually enter it, because my true goal was something else. Now, generally speaking, I don't really want to mention many, like, the smaller stores I went to, but I'm making an exception for this. Because I went to the Maid Cafe Wonder Parlor, and it was the best goddamn experience of my fucking life. Legitimately the best, like, incredible experience. So, Wonder Parlor is an Ikebukuro maid cafe. And when I say it's a maid cafe, I truly mean is a maid cafe in the true, like, the most platonically accurate idea of both words. It's like a proper cafe. It's like it's a 90-minute tea service. How many times? This is my third time. It's not like, your Moe Kyun cafes. They don't really talk to you. The maids only serve you your tea, and take your order and things like that. But, like, the interior design, it is designed, like, I hate using this word because it's overused to hell and back today. It's, like, so cozy. It's, like, this warm, like cushioned seats, like, classical music playing. They've got, like vintage dolls everywhere, and the tea was wonderful. The tea was actually stunning. And you just get to sit there, and the maids are wearing, like, long Victorian skirt. It was actually wonderful. Please visit Wonder Parlor. Please visit Wonder Parlor. I have to demand this from you, okay? Have any countries you'd like to visit? I'd like to go to China. But yeah, no, just such a wonderful time. Like, actually just incredible. Literally heaven. Highly recommend. If you have the time, stop by. They're a small store. I hope that they are open forever and ever. They have incredible quality. The prices, I feel, are quite reasonable. And it's just such a lovely atmosphere. Like, the atmosphere is to die for. Alright. Anyways, what's next? And then also after that, let me get a fucking cough drop real quick. Holy fucking shit. You should travel to Istanbul. Istanbul will be fun. That's been on my list of places I'd like to go in that, like, region of the world. I think Istanbul will be quite nice. One day, perhaps. One day. Okay. I did a bit of a Hashihime pilgrimage. Hang on, I'm so sorry. We call it Constantinople around here. Pilgrimage, yes. With 2 of the Polaroids I got from the random gacha, I went to Suidobashi Bridge. Hey, wait a minute! Wait a minute! Hey, wait, hang on, Big Nanas! Okay, alright, / timeout. Timeout, it's Big Nanas. 3,000. No, I'm not gonna time you out. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. It's talking about a fucking hair procedure. It's a fucking hair procedure. It's talking about a fucking hair transplant. So I went to Suidobashi, which is the death place of Minakami, this character. So, you know, I had them, so I was like, oh shit. And then I walked around Jinbocho, which is the old... Jinbocho is the old book town. Thank you so much for the tier 1 sub, Ninja Warlord. I sincerely appreciate your continued support. And so, Jinbocho's obviously changed quite a lot since the Taisho area, when Hashihime is set. But it was nice walking around and seeing all the bookstores. So it was a nice pilgrimage. And then, I don't believe I have any photos of this. Okay. I don't have any photos of this. But afterwards, I did a bit of walking around in Akihabara. And I did the thing that you should not do. I did the thing that you should very much not do if you were a solo traveler. I followed a lady to a bar. with no windows on the second floor. Do not do that. Do not do that. But I had a great time. Why? Because it was a concept cafe and she was really nice. And listen, I had a great time. I did not get scammed or drugged. I had a great time. I had a wonderful time talking with some lovely woman, okay? I love talking with ladies. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I had a lemon sour, and I was like having a lemon sour, talking about Vocaloid music and shit. It was a great time. My Japanese is better than ever. Let me tell you that. And this is not the last time I'll do that. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. So, anyways. Now, to the surprise of no one, my next stop on my trip was the city of Sendai. Who could have seen this coming? Wow. There's nowhere else to mention this. I'm just gonna show to you, this green cola I found. I don't know why it was called that. Like, legitimately, I could not fucking tell you. I don't know why it's green cola. It's not green. Is it sugar friendly? I don't fucking know. Whatever. So, Sendai. First thing I did, what did it taste like? It tastes like regular, like a diet soda. It didn't taste green. I don't even know what green would taste like. But anyways, of course, the first thing I have to do when I'm in Sendai, I took the Shinkansen up. We did have a few issues. I had a bit of a confusing time trying to receive it. Cause, how I did things, okay, it's green because it's all natural. Oh, okay, naruhodo. I guess that explains it. I saw it on the shelf, I was like, what the fuck is this shit? So, what I was gonna do was I was gonna buy the JR East Pass. Because I knew for the next 5 days, I'd be taking a lot of Shinkansen, and I calculated the cost in my head, and it'd be cheaper to buy the pass than to pay for all the Shinkansen tickets individually. So I took the train to Omiya, which is the town where all the Tohoku-based Shinkansen go through. And there I had to pick up my pass. How much the full trip cost? Don't fucking ask me that. No, I don't want to answer that question. Anyways. So I lost my train of thought. So I have to wait a bit to pick up my pass. And so well, it really depends on the time of year and where you go. I didn't do that. Basically, gotcha expenses mentality here. I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm so sorry. And also, I spent half my fucking trip in a place people don't usually go. So that would not be like a one-size-fits-all price, right? You know. So anyways, it took me a bit. It was very confusing trying to pick up the JR East Pass. I had lots of fun figuring that out. But eventually, I got it. I got on the Shinkansen to Sendai. I arrived in Sendai. So of course, the first thing I had to do was take photos with the local celebrities. You should know who these fuckers are. This is Tohoku Zunko and Zundamon. You better fucking know who these are. You better know. My beloved mascots of the Tohoku region. I should, yes, all John Tiapron chat members should know who these two people are. If they do not, they are punishable by death. Basically. I'm just kidding. I'm just joshing with you. Just doing a little joshin'. Who is Tohoku Zunko on the left, and Zundamon on the right. I know they're cuties. They are. They are very much big cuties. I love them very much. They are very near and dear. They are near and dear to my heart. I love them. I love them so incredibly much. It's insane. No, not Toho. Tohoku. Tohoku. Okay. And of course, I also had to meet I also had to see another local celebrity. You guys might have heard of this one. Yeah, I already fucking know. Yeah, because a Toku Kirishima model is Iron Mouse version 0. Yeah, that's the forbidden VTuber lore. Why are you making that face in chat, man? Anyways, yeah, there's in the anime, these for all these photos were taken in the E-Beans shopping building. If you ever go to Sendai, I highly recommend. E-Beans is like where all the weeb shit is in one place. This is like, I want to say, I forget the name of the bookstore. It wasn't like Kinokuniya, but they had a huge like JJK setup, as you can see here. And also at the Lashinbang that they had as well. Yuta's also from Sendai. Reread Zero. You see at the beginning, him and Rika, they meet in Sendai. I know at some point Yuta moves to Tokyo, because by the time Jujutsu High is in contact with him, he's in high school in Tokyo. But at least during his childhood with Rika, that happened in Sendai, okay? I know fucking ball. Double check me, you know you won't. So anyways, Lashinbang. Lashinbang is an incredible, like, secondhand goods store that you can find across Japan. I like it. They usually have pretty good doujinshi selections. We'll get to doujinshi at the end. So the one in fucking Sendai had an entire goddamn wall of Gojo. And that pissed me off so much that I had to take a photo of it. Look at the fucking endless Gojo wall. It's actually insane. This should not be allowed. You should not be allowed to have this much Gojo. That, like, you know. But yeah. Anyways, my next stop was my Jujutsu Kaisen pilgrimage. Because you might not be aware, but there's a lot of locations within the Tohoku region that relate to Jujutsu Kaisen. That's because Gege Akuchami is from the Tohoku area. He was born, according to his like bios, he was born in Iwate Prefecture, and then like during his young adulthood, he lived in Sendai for a while. So that's why a lot of characters are from those two areas. So here's a photo from Kitakami. So Kitakami is, while it's not directly stated to be the place, if you compare this to Yuji's, kind of spoilers, sorry guys, Yuji's domain expansion in the Sukuna fight, you can see that, like, he's from, that's Kitakami Station. This is Kitakami Station, okay? So, of course I'd go there. Of course, right? And also, I had the privilege of going to Lake Gosho, which you might know for being the Lake Gosho colony, where you have the Takaba and Kenjaku fight. Now, I will say, I was only able to go to one side of the lake. I was not able to visit the, if we want to get really technical, I've narrowed down where the fight actually probably takes place. It probably takes on the other side of the lake, somewhere in the mountains, on the mountainous road. But to be quite honest with you, I could not be fucking bothered, because to get to that part of the fucking lake would require, like, a very, like, intermittently running bus and a lot of walking, and that was just a bit too risky. I did not want to be stranded in the middle of the mountains in, like, rural Japan, so I was like, I'll just stick to the wrong side of the lake. So that's Lake Gosho. That's where the colony is, so in case, in case you ever wondered, there it is in all of its glory. And then we have Sendai Museum. This is not part of the manga. This is one of the additions made in the anime. But this is where, if you guys remember the part in the anime, like added, yeah, this is where it takes place. There's some hello Bon, thank you so much. Welcome in. We're talking about Jujutsu Kaisen pilgrimage right now. It's part of the Sendai colony fight. If you guys remember, after like. Oh my god, yeah. And then also part of the Sendai colony fight is this triangle-shaped building. It's in Izumichuo. This is a very nice, pleasant walk. I got to go to northern Sendai. I never actually spent too much time in northern Sendai, so it's really quite pleasant. You're really insane and I love it. So this kind of area in northern, it was quite pleasant. I just sat in a park for a while here and enjoyed the sunshine. Did you visit where the Cocker's curse showed up? Big Nanas? Yes, I did. Welcome to Tech Stadium, Sendai. This is not only where the initial, like, stuff with the cockroach curse happens. Please forgive me, I'm blanking on his fucking name. It is also featured in that part right at the beginning of the Culling Game arc. At the beginning of the Culling Game arc, where like Kenjaku's leading one of Yuji's high school friends, this is also shown in the background then. So it's kind of a 2-for-1, right? So thus concludes my Jujutsu Kaisen pilgrimage across the Tohoku region. This was over the course of a couple of days. This is not all in one day. I should probably make that disclaimer. This is over 3 fucking days. So let's go back to Iwate, because I did other stuff in Iwate that was not Jujutsu Kaisen. I swear. On my mother's life, man. So, while I was in Kitakami, I took a nice walk, and I ended up stumbling across, a very interesting, like, open-air museum that preserved a lot of historical buildings, from Kitakami across time periods, from the Taisho area all the way back to, like, I guess, feudal Japan. So this is one of those buildings here. There's, like, a lovely little lake. You can see, like, the thatched roof. It was quite a bit of a walk. It was, like, 45-minute walk away from the station. I should not have walked that far, I'm not gonna lie, but, like, I did, so, like, whatever. It was very nice. A guy tried speaking to me, but, he was an older man, and I don't say this as an insult, but generally speaking, older people, the versions of languages they speak are not exactly beginner-friendly, so I couldn't really understand him. And then he didn't really know any English, but he's very kind. He gave me a map. He clearly wanted to help me if we could get to mutual understanding. He was excited to see me there. It was unfortunate. I really wish my Japanese is good enough to, like, have been able to, like, because it seemed like he wanted to guide, like, from what I did understand, he wanted to know if I was interested in, like, a guided tour. Like, he was one of the, like, people working there. But I didn't understand him well enough. I felt really bad. What is Japan? Japan is a country. Hope that helps. And then also, that's the bridge I had to walk to get to that area. I didn't get a photo of this, because there were kids playing on it. I'm not gonna take photo of random people's fucking kids. But Kitakami, has a partnership, like a lot of Japanese towns do. They have, like, a partnership with Pokemon, where they have, like, an Onyx-themed, like, playground. As, like, a huge, like, playground, like an Onyx, like, life-size Onyx. You have, like, Ogre Pond from the Kitakami region, crossover. No, we're not saying, no, Mr. Indigo, we're not saying that. Mr. Indigo, we are saying anything but that, Mr. Indigo. We are not saying that. No. Nope. No. Anyways. And this is from when I was walking to Lake Gosho. The specific station I was at was, I want to say, it was Shizuku Ishi. So I'd walk through, like, this rice field area. It was a very peaceful walk. I was the only person there. And then on my way back to the station, I saw a stork in the rice fields. And that was, like, a lovely sight, right? Seeing a stork in the rice fields, like, goddamn. And that's my very bad photo of it. And then, finally, I stopped back in Morioka. Morioka is the capital city of Iwate. In addition, it's also where, I didn't go quite on a super extreme pilgrimage. If I wanted to be insane, I could have gone, because this is where, Higuruma's from. This is where, back in his lawyer days, for Jujutsu Kaisen fans, like, this is the city, like, he was practicing law in, and they used several, like, real-life locations within, like, Higuruma's backstory in the anime, but I wasn't insane enough to track those down. I know that people have tracked them down in the past, though, but I didn't do that. And even then, it would have been hard to, because, so somehow, I stumbled into Iwate, on the one day they're having a festival. Should vision Morio? Morio is Sendai, motherfucker! Morio is Sendai! Araki's from Sendai! Morio is Sendai! And, Morio isn't a real neighborhood also. It's based off of a conglomeration of, like, locations around Sendai and the surrounding towns. More or less. So... Yes, Morio's yeah, it is a fake place. It's a fake place, but it's really in Sendai. Like, it's a fake neighborhood of Sendai that's used as an excuse to depict multiple areas of Sendai. There's a lot more, Part 4's Morio is definitely more of a fictional anywhere town, but Part 8's Morio is definitely pretty concretely a neighborhood of Sendai. There's a lot more real-life locations within Sendai reference within Part 8. You got me on my ramble here. You guys know. You guys know who to ask about Sendai. But anyways, I chose the one day to go to Morioka, that they were having a festival. So the roads were shut down. That's what you see in this. It's kind of small. That's what you see in this photo here. They shut down the roads for, like, pedestrian travel. And so they're having a festival, and I see it. I was like, okay, they're, like, just starting. Sendai, no. Some of you guys need to die. I'm sorry, Mr. Indigo. I didn't mean that. Anyway, so I was like, okay, this is my most shameful confession. So I saw the festival begin to start. I'm like, oh, neat. And, you know, I was pretty sure it was just like the warm-ups they do, because, they do fucking practice runs. So I step inside the nearest Lashingbang, and I proceed to buy. I spend like 30 or so minutes. How do I say this? I spend like over 30 minutes searching for Fire Emblem Dojinshi. And then when I step out, the festival is over. This is my most shameful confession. Instead of watching a traditional Japanese festival, I was searching for Dojinshi of Sylvain and Felix fucking. Was it worth it? Yes. So I had to rush back to the station, and I went back to Sendai. And then, okay, I also took a lovely day trip to Matsushima. It was a lovely time. I've been to Matsushima 2 other times before this, so this is nothing new. But I highly recommend Matsushima for those who've never been to the area. It is one of Sendai's Japan's top 3 most scenic views. Hang on. So sorry, I was responding to a text. So of course it's known for these lovely islands. It was a bit overcast the day I went. It can't be helped. That was the only day I had, so it's like, it is what it is. It's gonna be how it's gonna be, You can't stop the overcastness. But you can see these islands dotting the coast. There's like 300 islands, I want to say. I got to see this lovely temple. I forget the name. I've been told a story about this temple, though. It's a very special temple for Matsushima. You seem like a much more confident and self-assured chef. Okay. I don't know if that... Yeah, then me. I don't know if you... I'm definitely self-assured and definitely much more confident. You missed me talking about how I bravely followed a woman into a bar, alone in Akihabara at night. That was on like a windowless second floor. And I had a great time. But yeah, the thing about this temple, it's like on an island off the coast of Matsushima. The story behind this one is that the island itself is kind of like diamond shaped. So when the 2011 earthquake happened and the tsunami hit the surrounding Um, no, it's turn to go. Fuck, you'll have to rewatch the VOD. I tell the story much more succinctly later. Like earlier, I mean. Fuck, where was I? So when the tsunami happened after the 2011 earthquake, a lot of the towns in the area got like hit pretty hard. But because there's the temple was on this like diamond-shaped island in front of the bay, the diamond shape ended up like diverting the waves and like not nullifying them, but like greatly reducing their impact. So compared to like other areas nearby, because you know, Sendai was like really badly affected by this tsunami. Matsushima is like only like a 30-minute train ride away. You know, it was like not horribly affected. Diamond's Unbreakable, yeah. Anyways, here's another view of the temple and the lovely red bridge. They love their fucking red bridges there. And then this was like a lovely, like, I don't know quite what to call this. I guess entertainment complex. How busy was it? It was, I'd say, it was decently busy while not being crowded. Does that make sense? There was a good amount of people there, but there's nothing ever that crowded. It was never like you had to wait in a long line. Like, it was fine. Like, it was, you had personal space. There were other people, though, you know? This, like, entertainment center, it was, like, a building with, like, a bunch of smaller tourism spots and, like, a couple museums by a couple, well, okay, one museum and, like, an observation deck, that let you see, like, the skyline of Matsushima. It had a very interesting museum about, like, the geology of the Tohoku region as a whole. That just went really into, like, fossils and shit. And it also had, like, an area for demonstrating the creation of Kokeshi dolls, which are a craft that was, I don't want to say originated from Sendai, but they're very historically associated with Sendai. And then this is the view from the skyline. Fossils, what kind? Like dinosaurs and shit. Dinosaurs and such. So yeah, this is the view of the Matsushima. I don't know why I made that that transition so long. All right, assorted Sendai photos. So I went to Kokubuncho. Kokubuncho is Sendai's red light district. That's also, unfortunately, where like half the fucking maid cafes are. And by half, I mean all but two. And I will say, out of every red light district I've been to in Japan, Kokubuncho was by far the sketchiest. Imagine, if you will, they just made the Shinjuku back alleys, and that's the entire red light district. Like, it's all alleyways. It's all alleyways, and it's not crowded, which is actually a downside. You want your red light districts to be crowded, because at least there's other fucking people. This place was, like, empty as fuck, and that was scary as hell. Like, legitimately, the sketchiest place I've been to in Japan. And again, that's saying a lot, because I walked around Kabukicho. I've been to Red Light District. Red Light District is like, I don't know, what's the official definition of this stuff? Let me check real quick. What is the official definition? Because I know off the top of my head. So, Red Light District is a part of an urban area where a concentration of prostitution and sex-oriented businesses are found. Basically, yeah. In Japan, what that means, you're gonna get a lot of hostess clubs. You're gonna get a lot of hostess clubs. You're gonna get a lot of bars. Potentially soap lands, depending on where you are. You know, like that kind of shit. You're gonna get pink, like, what, pink shops, I think that's how they say it, right? If you know what that means, you know what that means. However, because usually, here's the thing, there's also a common association with, like, red light districts and, like, some maid cafes and concept cafes. Not because those businesses are necessarily, like that, you know? It's not, like, necessarily sex-based or like hostess-like. But also, Japan's, like, entertainment laws are pretty fucking strict when it comes to, like, customer, like, worker interactions in, like, food areas. So essentially, if you have a business where it's, like, let's say you want to make a maid cafe where, like, occasionally the maids sit down at your table with you and talk, that is prohibited unless you have a certain adult business entertainment license, and then 9 times out of 10 you can only get that license if you're in one of these like red light districts that is meant to like contain that shit. So even if the business itself is not like inherently, you know, they still kind of get forced to these areas because it's the only place where they can like basically operate. So that's why you see a lot of, like, maid cafes and concept cafes, even if they aren't necessarily, like, you know, doing hanky shit, to put it lightly. But yeah. The one maid cafe I ended up going to in Sendai, I think I can talk about it. I went to Nyanpotan. I have no photos because they didn't allow photos inside. Nyanpotan was not in Kokubuncho. Nyanpotan is near the station. I recommend if you're in Sendai. The girls were very nice. The maids were very lovely. It's a nice atmosphere. I recommend. The drinks were good. I never ordered food. I could not tell you the food quality. I only ever ordered drinks from them. I got some nice checkies. Hang on, I'm responding to another text. But yeah. Let's see. You go to cafes and order food or drink. Well, okay, main cafes, I order the drinks sometimes. It's like I'd stop by after dinner, you know? Anyways, also in Sendai, in the Tatsuya, which is like kind of not quite a, it's kind of a bookstore. Basically a bookstore. They had a little Dead by Daylight pop-up. Those who remember the Dead by Daylight streams, so I did take a little photo of that. Look at Dwight. Look at him running for his fucking life, man. And then also, I stopped by. We can't see. Lol. Okay, you can't see. Sorry, my photo, some of the photos I forgot would get maybe a bit cut off. But then did you do solo traveling there? Yes, fully solo traveling. And I stopped by the Sendai Pokemon Center. It's something very cute. They had themed Pikachus. I did not buy any of these because I was running out of fucking backspace at this point. They had themed Pikachus for all 6 of the major Tohoku festivals. So like down here is like the Akita Kanto Festival. I want to say this is Yamagata? I think this might be Yamagata. This is, I think, Nebuta. You know, like, they have all these different types, and they had, like, this huge mural on the wall. Very little. Very little. I mean, obviously I planned what general, you know, hotels and shit I planned in advance. But I was mainly just kind of going off, what do I want to do today? Yeah, I'm spontaneous. Like, this lovely mural of the Tohoku region where, like, they had Pokemon versions of all the different festivals. Like, okay, this is like the Morioka's festival. You got Sendai Tanabata, you got Nebuta and Kanto. You know, you seem a lot more confident solo traveling than I thought. I'm very confident in solo traveling. I think it helps in Japan. I know the language somewhat, so it's not like I'm a fish out of water. But yeah, no, and also, I will say, the Pokemon Center, pretty empty. So if you want to go to a Pokemon Center, but don't want to be surrounded by, like, a bunch of fucking scalpers, go to Sendai! Go to Sendai! You should go to Sendai, okay? Maybe. You've done more in this trip than we've done all of ours. I have a lot of downtime. I don't really, I don't think I've ever I didn't really, like, show it, but, like, I had a fair bit of downtime. Most days, I take a little break in the afternoon, so I do shit in the morning, get back maybe, like, 3, 4-ish, spend, like, an hour in my hotel room, and then I set back out. I think that was the key to keep myself from getting too worn out. Because, you know, there's, you know? No, it is very scary. There were a couple times where I wanted to go to specific maid cafes, and I stopped myself from going because I was too scared to enter. So it's not like the idea doesn't scare me, just sometimes I get the confidence and sometimes I don't. But yeah, let's see, what else? What else? Last thing scary at the ship, the maid cafes. Alright, then finally we have one last day in Tokyo. So I planned it. So I had one full day in Tokyo before my flight. Because I knew it'd be very fucking dumb to, like, be like, yes, I can get all the way halfway across the country back to the airport in time. No. I'm not gonna fucking risk it when it comes to international flights, right? We're not playing with the fucking devil. So one last day in Tokyo. One last day in Tokyo. What could go wrong? What could go wrong getting back to Tokyo? What could fucking go wrong? What could go wrong? So the Tohoku Shinkansen was suspended for a bit. Now, thankfully, it did unsuspend itself. It was only a couple hours. But it did make me sad, because I did have to alter my plans somewhat. What I wanted to do originally, that I had to not do, I wanted to take the Shinkansen down to Fukushima, then spend like a couple hours in Fukushima, grab lunch there, and then head to my hotel. Like, head to my hotel in Tokyo. However, because, here's the thing. I love the Japanese train system, right? Here's the thing, though. It is not a perfect system. Like, I would argue it's actually far from perfect. And what I have learned from the times I've been to Japan is that when there's a train issue, there is a good chance, it's not guaranteed, but there's a good chance that that same line will continue to have issues for the rest of the day. So unfortunately, I had to decide I would rather not be stuck in stranded in Fukushima, that I'd rather unfortunately skip Fukushima and head straight to Tokyo, so I can like just get back to Tokyo. It made me really sad, because I did really want to go around. Fukushima is like the last capital of the Tohoku area that I haven't like fully walked around in. I'm really sad. I've been through Fukushima Prefecture. I've seen some very wonderful things there. I've never spent much time in like the capital city of Fukushima. One day I will. One day I will. It was unfortunately just not in the cards. I did not want to risk it. I did not want to be stranded. It is what it is. So, one last day in Tokyo. So I don't have a photo of the second visit, but I took a visit to Wonder Parlor again, because I loved it so much. I went back again, and it was just as good as the first time. You guys should go to Wonder Parlor. And I also hit up a different Concept Cafe, where the lovely Concept Cafe cast member guided me to a Concept Cafe. It was on the first floor this time. And it had windows. So we're making improvements, okay? It was still a bit more expensive than I thought it would be, though. But, like, I had the extra money, so it was fine. But so another thing that ended up spontaneously working out for, like, collabs for when I was in Japan, there was a collaboration between the amusement park Nyamja Town and everyone's favorite game, Gnosia. That's fucking right. So this is technically a collaboration with the anime. So that features the anime main character Yuri right there. So Nyamja Town is like, it's an indoor amusement park in Sunshine City. Okay, Comet's not there. I'm so sorry. It's only 8 out of like the how many people. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyways. I got distracted. Oh my god, my throat's killing me. Man, I haven't talked this much in forever. So, Nyamja Town is like an indoor amusement park. It's like kind of cat themed. Thank you for hydrating, Marcetti. Thank you so much. It's very much kid-oriented. So I went to Yamcha Town that one other day I was in Ikebukuro that I mentioned earlier. But I didn't actually stick around for the exhibition opening time because I got there way too fucking early and the exhibition didn't open until like halfway through the day. And at that point I was kind of like, fuck it. But during my time in Yamcha Town, they have a few activities. I really wasn't looking to do the activities because it is mostly, number one, it's mostly a place for, like, you know, kids, which is not a bad thing. But he's, like, you know, so, like, a lot of the things were, like, outside of my, you know, age range, more or less, I'd say. You know. And then number two, the things that weren't kid-oriented, like, there was something that looked very fun. There's, like, you know, a site, a location, like, building-wide, like, detective mystery. But the issue is, that detective mystery, Japanese only, and relied heavily on, like, Japanese wordplay. To a level which, like, you had to probably be, like, fluent. You could not get by on Google Translate. You had to, like, know Japanese. And, like, you know, it was, like, whatever. You know... Hang on, I'm responding to another text. Just... I love responding to texts, it's my favorite thing. But anyways, what do you think they did do? I made a folly, because I saw, you know, everything is kid-oriented. It's like, oh, they have a quiz game that's based on, like, Japanese game shows. Oh, they have, like, you raise, like, a bluebird. Oh my god, hang on. Hang on, I'm so sorry, I'm responding to more fucking texts. And then I saw they had a haunted house. I'm like, how bad could it fucking be, man? This is a kiddie amusement park. This is gonna be like fucking light work, no reaction. Like, this is gonna be fucking baby shit. So I go, and I pay my 1,000 yen that it costs to get into the, because everything's ticketed separately, you know, always as it fucking is. I pay my 1,000 yen to get into this goddamn haunted house. It's called, like, Nightmare Nights. Nights with a K. And the theming of the haunted house, it was actually quite an interesting theme. From what I gathered from the Japanese I understood in the visuals, it was a haunted house based on, like, an otome game and its creator that ended up going missing. And, like, so, okay, the staff member, like, you know, leads me to a room and it plays a video, and there's a jump scare at the end of the video, and that's when I start to realize, maybe I made the wrong choice. Maybe I made the wrong choice. But it's like, I can't go back. So I go through, and the entire fucking time, I'm yelling at the top of my lungs, my hands over my ears, Yamatsugi, Yamatsugi, Yamatsugi! Which, translation, too yabai, too yabai, too yabai. Too scary, I guess you could say. Yabai is yabai. You know, if you know Japanese, you know what I'm talking about. There's a great nuance to the word. There's a great nuance to the phrase. All you need to know is losing my fucking marbles. He was yelling and, like, laughing uncontrollably. And I exit the fucking thing. Go Atsugi, go Atsugi! Exactly this. Like, I was practically running through that fucking thing. I wanted to get out of there. I didn't even care that I'd spent like 1,000 fucking yen to get in. I wanted out of that goddamn haunted maze. I was scared fucking shitless. It wasn't even like there's like any scare actors too. It's just like mannequins. I don't think anything ever moved. There weren't any kids in it. I got there very early. There's barely anyone else in there anyways. There were no kid. I was the only person in there. I was the only human being in that goddamn maze. I was losing my marbles. And I finally exit, and I round back the corner to the entrance, and the staff member looks at me. It's like, kawaii ne? Kawaii ne? I want to die. But anyways, I ended up revisiting and re-entering for the Gunosia collab, because I arrived later in the day this time. So the Gnosia Collaboratory was open, so I got to see these lovely cutouts. You can't really see it well. They're all, because Nyamja Town is like cat themed, they're all wearing, like, they all have cat ears. So there's a few different things. There's merch you can buy. I bought some of the merch. In addition, there's also mini games. There's 2 like interactive games. The first is like Gina's Dongo grilling game. Where it's like they have a TV screen, like they have a fake stove with like fake dongo, and you put the dongo on the stove, and then like a customer walks in, that's like one of the characters. And then you like grill the dongo, and depending, I don't know, I don't think it was skill based, it might have been like random. Then it like you get like a random like C tier, B tier, or A tier prize. I did it twice. I got 1 C tier and 1 B tier. C tier was like a Polaroid. B tier was a can badge. No A, nah. I didn't want to. I was content. The A tier was like a desk, like a mouse pad, which would have been nice, but I didn't really need one. You know, I don't have enough space for a mouse pad on my desk, as we all know. And then the second thing was a relay kind of scavenger hunt, where it's like across Nyamja Town there was like, I wanted, like, how do I describe it? There's like QR codes, little signs with QR codes, and then if you find, what do you use for a mouse pad? I use nothing. I don't have one. You should have known this intrinsically. Anyways, so you find a QR code, you scan it, it shows you a special conversation, then you show the fact you got the conversation to the staff member. So I misread it. You only need to find 1. I thought you had to find all. I was like walking around for a fucking hour. I swear to fucking God, I didn't even find them all. Then I reread the instructions, like, wait a minute. Wait, I only need to find this one. Oh, okay. I walked back and I got like a free prize. So I think I have a better photo of all the prizes I got. Yep, with the evil Rockio cat. So here's the merch I got. You might notice a trend. You might notice a trend. With a preferred character here. Hello, Immerse Rhyme. Welcome in. But yeah, let's see what else I do. What else I end up doing. But yeah, I had a few. I say a few. I chatted real quick with some Japanese Nogia fans. There are quite a few Nogia fans. Nogia is popping among the Japanese youth. Okay, it's popular enough to get a fucking collab cafe. You know, or not cafe, collab event. You know. It was there were other people there. But yeah, and then, okay, so you know how I mentioned. That's a bit of a spoiler. Then I had another job to do. I had to go to Shinjuku. Because I had a score to settle. I needed to go back to the Hashihime pop-up event to see if they had any fucking restocks. And I arrive and I walk up those stairs and I look. I see a beautifully full shelf. And I blacked out, and when I came back to, I was at the register holding 4 acrylic stands. 4 big acrylic stands. So yeah, I got what I wanted. It was a happy ending after all. You know, I just had to wait. And then this is my hotel. My hotel for last night was a fucking traditional tatami room. I did not fully realize that when booking, but I mean, that's fine. I had nice sleep. You know, I had a nice, good sleep. And then that night, I tried to revisit the concept cafe I went to the first time I got dragged into a building. But I ended up arriving too late in Akihabara. It was not quite close. It was almost closing time. They wouldn't let people in. So I ended up getting dragged into a separate concept cafe by another lady. You know. So goodbye. The next day, back to Haneda Airport. And I got to Haneda Airport way too fucking early. I got there like 6 hours before my flight. Do not follow chat. Yeah, you should not follow chats. I found, of course, this gem at Haneda Airport. A Tung 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 Sahur dedicated section. Which is, you know, truly a miracle of the modern economy, right? Like, truly delightful in all of its glory. But yeah, Wolf Lady, Pretty Chicken Dragon. That is exactly the logic I used. Is yes, triple T, D buy one? Fuck no. So let's go over some stats. Let's go over some stats, okay? Dojinshi bought 10. I bought 10 dojinshi across multiple secondhand stores. I can't show you the photos because from what I understand, it's considered bad etiquette to like post photos of secondhand dojinshi that you didn't buy from the source. So I'm not gonna be posting those publicly. But yeah, I bought 10 things of dojinshi. And of course, I know what you fuckers are really asking. 50% of those were R18. Which means 50% of them were safe for work. Despite what people think, safe for work dojinshi are quite common. They are quite common, okay? They are quite common. I bought some... No, actually, I know you fuckers would imply it, though. I know you fuckers would imply it. So let's just get the record straight. Okay. Baggage space non-existent. I was nearly out of baggage. I was actually sweating. My bag barely almost didn't fit into the compartment above me on the plane. I was fighting for my fucking life with that thing. But thankfully it fit and it all was good. It was so full. Money spent at main/concept cafes. Conservative estimate is around 30k yen. More or less. I could calculate it if I want to. I don't want to. I'm good not knowing. What about the white? Did they, no, I didn't check any of my bags. And I don't know, I never got checked for weight for anything, so. I don't like checking my bags if I don't have to. I'm really paranoid that they'll lose all my clothes. So yes, I probably spent around 30,000 yen at main cafes. Hello, Harusagi. Welcome in. Yeah, it went very great. Please don't look at the screen. Please don't look at the screen right now, Harusagi. I value your good opinion. 30,000 yen, like $200. Well, yeah, okay, yeah. However, okay, let me count in my head. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I went to maid cafes and concept cafes 8 times. On average, $40-ish each. That's not like that bad, right? That's not that bad. Okay, 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 okay. It probably is a bit less, actually. A sheep was with exchange. Yeah. Okay, it's fine. Should have gone more. I should have. I legitimately should have. You're probably joking. I'm serious. I should have gone to more places. I should have like gotten over my fear and just walked into more places. There were like multiple establishments where I stood at the door and then left because I was too scared to like walk in. Alright. Average hours slept. Around 8, actually. I don't understand people who are like, yeah, I only got like 3 hours of sleep per night in Japan. What the fuck, man? I got like around 8, maybe 7.5. But like, I was sleeping full nights. Most nights I'd be in bed by like 9:30, you know? Yes, I did casually stroll through the desolate red light district of Koku Buncho on my own multiple times. Maybe these people were out longer. I guess, I don't know. Let's see. Crane game plushies 1. 1. Not for lack of trying. I don't know how much I end up spending on crane games. I really don't want to know. I only succeed for one. It really crushed my soul. But also that fucking plushie took up half of my goddamn bag space, so it's like, I'm kind of mad at it, low-key. Just kidding, Akari, I'd never be mad at you. Alright, that is the end of my photos. Now, do we have any questions, comments, or concerns? How much did you spend on traveling? I really could not tell you off the top of my head, unfortunately. I wish I could. I would estimate probably a couple thousand, definitely not 5 digits. A lot less than 5 digits, because I know some, I really, in total, let me think, lodging, let's see, I averaged, on average, about $100 or so per night. I could have gone cheaper, I could have. Okay, what kind of food places do you eat at? Best thing you, okay, good questions. Food places you ate at. That's a shameful question, because you know damn well half of them were maid cafes. You know damn well half of them were maid cafes. But besides maid cafes, pretty frequently, I'd say, I ended up going to, like, my old reliable back when I studied abroad. I went to a lot of, like, chain restaurants, like, Hanamaru Udon, for example, Sukiya, Matsunoya, those types of places. The old reliables. The types of places where you order on a kiosk, or like give a ticket to the counter. I'm not like a super big foodie. I don't really care about like omakase sushi. Nothing I ate at was too expensive. I think the most expensive meal I had at like a normal non-maid cafe restaurant was like 3,500 yen. Like, that was the most expensive meal I had. I'm literally not lying to you. Besides, maid cafes don't count. Arguably, maid cafe food is not food. Let's be sorry. Let's be sorry. That shit is not food. But yeah, I kept things pretty like low budget when it came to food, because I don't need much to make me happy. Best thing I ate. So that's a great question. Best thing I ate. I had some. Let's see. That's a good question. Oh my god. I had some bomb carbonara. In Sendai. I know it's like, you know, not Japanese food, but like, hey, if you want to know you're playing a return trip, possibly. Something's in the works, but it's nothing. It's like the kind of thing where you're throwing around ideas with friends and you're not actually booking anything. You know what I mean by that? So it's not like I've got a fucking flight booked. But you know, obviously there's still more things I'd like to go to. Maid cafes are just vehicles for Moe Kyun. Exactly. And it's not, I mean, some maid cafe meals are better than others, but like, generally speaking, I will say, again, I cannot hype Wonder Parlor up enough. Wonder Parlor, excellent tea, and their cakes were quite great. It was like a very good meal. I highly recommend, you know? You smuggle this in your carry-on luggage, no. Oh my god. Yeah. Dissing the maid omurice. And I don't like eggs, so... Germany I do need to go to Germany one day. I was supposed to study abroad in Germany in high school, and then it kept on falling through. I think I've told that story before. I was supposed to do like an exchange program, and then it never came to fruition. It never came to fruition. So sad. So sad. But I think Germany would be quite nice. I probably should avoid the trains. I've heard horror stories about the Deutsche Bahn, right? But yeah, I need to go to Europe a bit more. Also, probably like more like Central and like West Asia would be like pretty fucking fire. Ideally, I mean, it's a bit of like a lifetime goal. It would be nice to visit at least like most, I'd say, all continents minus the Antarctica. It'd be nice to visit somewhere in every continent besides Antarctica. obviously. I think that'd be like a cool thing to do in my lifetime. What about the moon? If that's possible. If that's possible. You know, I think there's a lot of interesting cities out there that I'd love to see. You know. Hey, I'll never say no to like a good fun time. I'm not Antarctica because I don't think that's very feasible and I don't like the cold that much. I don't really like the cold, to be honest. And all continents but Antarctica, but two of them is super young chat. Well, you gotta go back then. You gotta go back. You should also visit Istanbul. Again, that'd be a nice place. I think that'd be a very nice experience. I don't disagree with you. I don't know. I don't know how far ahead I can really think with travel at the moment, but I'd like to go. Because I know, isn't Istanbul really famous for, like, the cats, too? Doesn't it have, like, a pretty, like, lots of fucking cats or like some shit? Or am I thinking of like another city in the same region? You can go to Antarctica if you really want. I don't really want. I'm gonna be real. I don't really want to. I'm good not going. The cats and the Blue Mosque. Oh yeah, the Blue Mosque. That'd be really interesting to see. Just from like an architectural perspective. Like, let me remember. I know I've seen the Blue Mosque before. Like, oh my god, yeah, no, that's gorgeous. That's really gorgeous. I'd love to see that from afar. Cat symbol. Yeah. The cats. I like cats. So it'd be nice to see some cats, right? Alright. Any more questions? If not, I might end stream a bit early. My throat is still getting used to talking again. As you can tell by me, like, coughing constantly throughout stream. I might be suffering, just maybe a little bit, right? Just maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit. Thank you for hydrating, Akito, thank you so much. Yeah, but perhaps next travel will be with friends. Solo traveling is fun, but I did learn through this that maybe there's some things I really should not do when solo traveling. Because even if they worked out well for me this time, they might not work out well for in the future. And perhaps I should be a bit more cautious when I'm alone in another country. And I say that, I'm gonna do the exact same shit next time. I'm gonna do the exact same shit next time. Concept Cafe ladies, please lead me to your store. Please lead me to your store. I will buy you a cast drink. Oh my god, I'm full of snot. I'm full of snot. I'm fighting for my fucking life out here, man. Alright, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Unless you got any more questions. Any question maxers? Any question maxers in the chat? It's truly a miracle. Are you happy? Yeah. The trip made me pretty happy, I'd say. I like walking to places, you know. I like doing things. I like walking around. I think maybe it helps because a lot of people over in distance seem to think I was a guy. So I think that did help. Oh, your birthday coming up soon. It's in the next 2 months, right? I don't want to spoil my plans. I do have some fun. I think we might be doing like a midterm State of the Johnian. That'll probably be like our next PowerPoint stream, July 24th. I don't know if I'll do any call-ins, probably not, because realistically, even if I want to do call-ins, because it's the first night of Offkai, I know that all the fucking VTubers are gonna be at Offkai, and they're gonna be fucking drinking alcohol, pounding it back at fucking parties, and they're not gonna have any time for little old me. You know, so, like, that's fine. That's whatever, right? So I'm not gonna do a fucking call-ins, because people are gonna no-show, and it's gonna make me cry. people are gonna no-show, and it's gonna make me cry. So I'm not gonna do that. How tired are you after that? Remains to be seen. The first few days are always the easiest. It's, like, I think tonight's, like, gonna be the real challenge night, so we'll see. Right time we're calling they'll all be trash if they pick up. Okay, buy you a birthday present. Let me think about it. But yeah, I might play some games with you guys. I might play some games. You know, we might do some activities. I'll allow the message. Hang on. I'm going to Offkai, but I don't think they'll invite me to the orgy. So sad. Maybe next year, buddy. Okay, maybe next year. Maybe next year you'll get into the orgy. More JJK curse, you know it. Would it be a birthday party without JJK curse clash? No, I know. I don't like doing call-ins because it feels kind of presumptuous to assume that people want to call in. Okay, because like here's the thing, there's two ways that you can host a call-in. Either you can like invite people privately, but that feels like really presumptuous because like you're just DMing people. It's like, hey, tell me happy birthday live on stream. Or you can post like a post on Twitter and like say, hey, here's a Discord server for streamers. But then like the issue is if someone asks that like, how do I put this? What if like someone you don't really know asks to like call in? You know, it's like that feels like an awkward situation. It's like you can't really say no. So it's like, you know, you're damned if you know like. And then also, it's a selfish wish. I know. one year for my birthday, I'll get people to like make me a kudos board or something. You know what I'm talking about? Those things that like VTubers get for their birthday sometimes from like their friends and viewers. It's like you can't. That basically relies on your friends setting that up, right? You don't really set that up for yourself. So it's like, maybe someone will. Maybe someone will. We'll see. We'll see. It's pretty fun. Urgy. Okay. Oh my god. You know, you can set up yourself. I have seen that done. Well, that's too presumptuous. We all know my view on presumptuous things. I hate doing presumptuous things. I'm not a presumptuous person, you know? I hate presuming. So I'd rather just like fucking like you know what I mean? What's this comment? We're talking about my birthday. The big is coming up, you know? Very important milestone. The big Concern for the birthday plans. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Oh. No, that's about off-kai. That's about off-kai. That's about off-kai. The orgy part is all about off-kai, okay? I have no involvement with any orgies, past, present, or future. Never attended one. Baja Blast! Why are you fucking why are you yelling at Baja Blast? Baja didn't say. Baja didn't say. Oh my god. Baja isn't even here. I need you to understand. Baja's not in chat. Baja is probably asleep. Baja. You're calling Baja a fucking mongrel, and Baja isn't even here. That's so insane. Oh my god, stop saying things I have to like let through the fucking censors. The big birthday orgy. That's certainly a sentence of all time. Yeah, the John T. Afternoon birthday orgy. Are you guys okay? Are you guys looking forward to the birthday orgy? Hang on, let me tweet that on Twitter. Are you guys looking forward to the John T. Afternoon birthday orgy? Smash that like button. Button if the answer is yes. Ladies, free men, $50. Okay. I just know how to listen to your birthday wishes. I don't expect Baja to do shit for me. I don't expect, I truly don't expect Baja to do shit. I don't pay Baja, you know, it's just kind of it was funny, you know? So don't yell at Baja too much, okay? Baja's work responsibilities are, like, nothing. Okay, I'm actually choking on my own fucking, like, snot right now. I think I need to, like, lie down. I need to lie down, guys. I'm so sorry. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I sincerely appreciate it. Oh my god. I didn't know enough fucking... I didn't know this much fucking snot could exist in one's body. Oh my god.